how we booked 16 sales calls within 7 days for a Chicago-based SEO agency, and how you can manage cold email responses, positive responses, to maximize the number of sales appointments you're booking. So let's dig right into it, right? I'm going to talk about one simple framework that is applicable to every offer in the world. Like no matter what service or product you're selling, as long as you're selling to B2B customers, you should be able to use this framework for your responses, for positive responses, and convert those into appointments. Something to keep in mind here. We're not talking about email copy. We're not talking about cold email copy. We are referring specifically on what to write in your response after a prospect has already replied to you. So this is going to be useful if you're trying to train a team member, or if you're trying to make sure that when a prospect responds to you, you're able to get back to them quickly. You can even use this framework to train ChatGPT or another AI to write responses for you, which is what we've done at our agency. So let's get right into it. The first component of the response is acknowledging, right? So once a prospect responds to you, you want to first start your email response by acknowledging their response, right? So this is something along the lines of, "Hi name, thanks for responding," or "Thanks for confirming." Or, if they ask for something specific, like if they ask you for pricing, or if they ask a specific question, this is where you answer it, right? So you answer it. Again, if the question requires an extremely detailed response, you don't necessarily have to write a long email, but you can address it so that they don't feel that you ignored something that they asked for. So start with an acknowledgement. The next step is you convey your value prop. So you fluidly move from that acknowledgement to conveying exactly what you do, how that's connected to their question, and you use this, conveying your value prop, this component of the email, you use it to establish authority using case studies, and also to make this relevant to their question and their industry. I'm going to give you an example in a second, but just keep this in mind for the framework. Finally, once you've conveyed the value prop, you're going to give them a reason to want to get on a call with you, right? You never, ever, ever ask for a call without giving someone a reason. I've seen when I audit email accounts, when I consult people on cold email strategy, I often see people talking about, an email response where the prospect asks them for the price, they give the prospect the price, and then just say, "Let's hop on a call on Tuesday, are you available?" Right? That does not work. People are selfish, especially when they don't know you. So you need to give them a compelling reason that convinces them to want to get on a call with you. Like the reason you give them should be so convincing, it should be obvious to the prospect that, yeah, this company needs me on a call. Otherwise, they can't deliver a significant benefit to me, right? The prospect should feel like they're missing out if they don't take that call with you. So an example of this is, you could offer to show the prospects how you've gotten similar results. Again, connecting it to the case study that you dropped in the previous sentence. Or you could show them, how we'll do creatives for you, or, how we do XYZ. Give them a reason, any reason, to get on that first call with you. And at the end of the email, ask for a call. We like to end all of our emails with a question mark. So the last sentence in your email would be, "Are you available on Tuesday at 10 p.m. or Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time? If not, please feel free to choose one of the times on this link," and then you link your Calendly. So this is pretty standard across all of our emails. So this is how you respond to a prospect. Now, obviously, this is high level, so I've included one example here. I was just putting this together quickly. So this is one of the responses we received. Again, an SEO agency. So the agency I was talking about, they offer SEO services. They were targeting doctors. So this is the original outreach email. This is the cold email we sent. Super short, to the point. We said, "Saw you guys on Google when looking for skincare clinics in Miami. Your 5-star rating caught my attention. I've been looking to partner with a skincare clinic, and if it turns out to be a good fit, we can consistently send you 30 to 50 appointments every month, just like we're doing for Northwestern Hair here in Chicago. Any interest in a conversation?" Right? So this is the cold email script. I won't go into details on breaking this script down, but you can see it's short, to the point, throws in some social proof, and offers a tangible outcome, which is 30 to 50 patient appointments. Now, this is the prospect's response. So this is what they said. They said, "Hi, Jack. My name is Nick. I'm the practice manager." So they are a decision maker for this doctor, or they are involved in the decision making process. Then they ask questions. "How can we collaborate? Could you please provide a brief overview of the services, including details on what you do, how it's presented? Please include examples of projects you've completed, including clients, specific ways your work has benefited businesses," etc., etc. So they're asking for a bunch of information. Now, most people in this case will write an email that's 3 paragraphs, just selling themselves, trying to talk too much, trying to sell themselves. Now, the reason you don't want to do that is because, one, it lowers your status. It puts you in the salesman frame, right? The prospect asked you a question, and now you're trying to sell yourself to the prospect. It makes you look desperate, right? Number 2 is when you write an email response that's too long, even if it answers all of the prospect's questions, people tend to skim it, or people tend to just skip it because they think, "Oh, this is too long, I'll read it later," and then later never happens. So you want to acknowledge all of their questions in the fewest possible, like in as few words as possible. And then you want to move on to talking about how you've helped other doctors just like them, and finally connect that to a call and then ask for a call. So look at this is the response that got us the appointment, right? So we address him by his name. He introduced us as Nick. Again, this is important. If the lead was called Dr. Lindgren, we don't say Lindgren, we say Nick. And this is why it needs to be, there needs to be human intervention here. "Hi, Nick. We partner with doctors and help them get more patient appointments. The specifics depend on your goals, the patient volume you can handle at the moment, and the kind of treatments and patients you'd like to get more of." So the reason we say this is so that we don't have to answer the 5 different questions they asked here, right? We want to get the prospect on the phone or on Zoom as quickly as possible. And we want to we want to maintain a certain level of mystique, vagueness, ambiguity, whatever you want to call it, so that the prospect is motivated to show up to the call, right? And this is not a marketing trick. We're not trying to trick them into a call. The reason we do this is because if you gave your price here, they don't yet know your value. They don't know the quality of work you do. So when people just see a price, they could be comparing you to a freelancer they're working with, to an offshore freelancer that's working with them for $200 a month, right? And that's not a fair comparison because the quality of work is going to be significantly different. So that's why you don't want to, you can address all of this. So you see, we acknowledged everything. We said that, yeah, the specifics that you asked for will depend on XYZ factors. And now we give them a reason. We say to accurately answer all of your questions. So we align ourselves with what they asked for. We are trying to answer all of their questions. And to be able to give them accurate answers, we say we need to put a personalized plan together. So this is a piece of value we're offering. We're telling them, I would love to answer all of your questions, but to do that, I need to put a personalized plan together. And this personalized plan, by the way, it helped one of our clients, Dr. Shah here in Chicago. It helped one of our clients triple his patient appointments within 6 weeks. So you subtly throw in the social proof. You're selling the call. The call is the personalized plan, right? That's what you're going to do when you talk to them. So you're selling the call. You subtly throw in the social proof. And now you've given them plenty reasons to want to get on the call. If they want to know the specifics, if they want a free personalized plan built for themselves, and if they want to see how other doctors tripled their appointments within 6 weeks, they should get on a call. So this is a pretty compelling argument for a doctor who's interested to want to speak to you, right? So you have multiple reasons. You have social proof. You have a solid reason to ask for a call. Once you've done that, we just ask for a call. Say, are you available for a call on Wednesday or Friday this week to go over the details? That's it. In the PS, because they ask specifically for pricing, and we don't like to hide pricing because giving away pricing also allows us to prevent from, to prevent unqualified people from getting on calls. So we give them a minimum so that, if they can't afford 2K, then we don't want to talk to them, because we don't want our clients to be wasting time with poor quality leads. So this is the response we sent same day the prospect booked an appointment. Now I want to add a quick note here, because we're talking about pricing. The best way to handle pricing questions is to give them a range, and give them a range that's broad. Always tell them pricing is custom, unless you don't have custom pricing, unless your pricing is on a website, then it's completely fine. But for most businesses, pricing is custom, depends on the scope of work. So make that known. Tell them pricing is completely custom, but also give them a range so that the prospect knows whether or not this is something they can afford. Right? People are not stupid. They know how much they can afford to spend on a service. This way, when the prospect does come to speak to you, you know they have the ability to afford your services. So now you know that they're at least qualified, they're revenue qualified, they're budget qualified. So now as a salesperson, your job is just to make sure they're a good fit and then sell to them. A couple of situations, but I would not recommend using this framework. One is if the prospect directly asks for a call. Sometimes people will say, send me your calendar, or do you have times available on Tuesday, Wednesday this week? In those cases, no need to worry about this template. Just coordinate times, do some email back and forth, book them in, and you're done. And the other situation is if they say we're not interested or not qualified. In our experience, 1 out of 20 prospects, if you send them an email after they said they were not interested, they might still still respond to you politely. But it's unlikely. You might still get it, but the odds of you booking an appointment from someone who is not interested are fairly low. And oftentimes when you keep emailing people even after they ask to be unsubscribed, that's going to land you in spam. So we don't do it. So don't use this in cases where people ask for a call. Don't use this in cases where they're obviously not interested. Other than that, this simple framework is going to make sure, this is enough to handle all kinds of responses that you get to your email outreach. This is the structure we follow for everything. Every email that we respond to, every appointment we book, it has been booked following the structure. Well proven, time and again. Use this within your business and let me know how it goes. Questions or comments, drop them below, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.